This episode of the Hotspur America podcast is dedicated to the memory of Sam Williams. Sam was a member of the Dallas Spurs, the American Outlaws here in Dallas, and the FC Dallas supporters group Dallas Football Elite. Sam is survived by both of his parents and many, many friends and acquaintances who will dearly miss his presence, his smile, and his friendship. Sam Williams recently lost his bout with depression in a very tragic manner. Sam Williams was only 29 years old.
And naturally, I'm a Tottenham man, obviously. I can reflect back to being a player with and manager of some of the finest players that have ever been in the game.
The place is fantastic, the tradition of this club.
To be the manager of 3 cup-winning teams here, I'm so lucky, it's untrue.
Hotspur America podcast, airing every week during the English Premier League season.
What a glory, glory night at White Hart Lane.
This great and historic football club.
Joyful night down the Tottenham High Road.
Hotspur America, the original US-based podcast dedicated solely to Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
Gascoigne gonna have a crack. He is, you know. Oh, I say! Schoolboy's own stuff.
I hate Arsenal, just hate them.
Oh, what a goal! Unbelievable! Wow, this is incredible.
We're the Yids in America.
This is there to tap in. What a fantastic run. He scored, and it's turned home. Eric Dyer.
This is your Hotspur America. Hotspur America podcast, episode 32. Bottoms up if you love Tottenham. If you are not an alcohol drinker, you may as well start now. Holy crap, what a game, what a week. We waited, an international break to come back to that.
After the way we left it on the break with the squeaky bum win against Leicester.
Yeah. And as you guys can hear, Simon's with me today.
Hello, mate.
Let me introduce the crew. Simon, good?
Yep.
Toasty?
Well, yes and no. We'll discuss in a minute.
Yeah, we'll discuss no. And Sam, who's enjoying the Stone Brewery's fine craft beer without us.
Tosser.
Actually, to be
He's here
clear,
with us.
this show is brought to you by Mammoth Brewing Company's Epic IPA. Thank you very much to our friend at Oside Downey in San Diego-ville.
Let me tell you what,
Hello all.
Yeah, nothing says that you've made it except for when a national beer company sends you beer to thank you for putting on a good podcast.
Yes, which, by the way, have we got a little package out to our West Coast
It
friends?
went out this week.
Excellent.
Yep, that's good
You
news.
should get it in the next few days.
Matty, you are the man. We love you. We appreciate you. And I will get very well buzzed because of your kindness this
No,
evening.
you won't, because you can only drink 2 of them.
Well,
Hands off the other 4.
I think this too is very
Leave my
strong. that
cider
I might
alone.
I might, yeah, I might get.
If Sam goes missing for an extended period of time, he's raiding our beer, the cheeky bugger.
Yeah, but you guys got 2 huge bottles.
Yeah. Well, that's because, we are who we are.
Well, I'll make sure that you guys get your gear next week, and you guys can take pictures like I did today.
Because as you know,
right.
we are kind of a big deal.
So, I guess
do
we
we
need
start?
to kick off the podcast with rather sad news.
Yeah, as we mentioned early on in the intro, that we lost a member of Dallas Spurs this week. And he wasn't only a member of Dallas Spurs, he was a member of the Dallas Football Elite, which is a local FC Dallas supporters group, as well as a member of AO Dallas, which is our American Outlaws group for the United States men's national team. Sam Williams suffered from depression, and nobody, at least in our circles, knew anything about that. In hindsight, we were kind of talking off the cuff. It's something very difficult to do as somebody, friends and acquaintances like we are that are survived by him, and you look back on it and thinking, what could I have done? Where was I when this happened? And it's very difficult. It's very hard to digest and comprehend. And depression is such a terrible disease. There are many national and international groups out there, such as the Right to Love, On Her Arms, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, the Freedom from Fear. They provide lists and resources of ways to find help for depression. In the UK, I know that there's an organization called Calm at www.thecalmzone.net, and of course, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. As not just as football supporters. Simon and I are on the board of Dallas Spurs. We feel like this is our family. This is our almost like a company, if you will, but it has zero company feel to it. These are our friends and our acquaintances and people that we enjoy talking to, and it's very difficult on us, as I can imagine it is for the board members of the DFE, AO Dallas, American Outlaws probably in general. When you lose somebody like this, you take it very personal. And there's a lot of hindsight and a lot of grief that's being spread around, as well as a pinch of guilt. And it's very difficult to talk about. But this show is dedicated to him. And we don't, Dave Mackay and Stacey Mole and all the people that we've dedicated shows to in the past, they have profound influences on people's lives for one reason or another, but not on us directly. And this is different for us. It's a little bit of a solemn day, but I know that Simon has gotten some information through the club that he wants to share. So without any further ado, Simon, if you would, please.
Yeah, I just kind of want to give everyone an overview of how the week went. I was working in my study on Monday night, and I got a message from Ben Crew, a lad from Bristol, Spurs supporter, but he's also one of the guys that sat with Sam, and he gave me the very sad news of the passing, and I pretty much stopped what I was doing to get the word out there to our members, as they needed to know what was going on, and the next 24 hours just consumed me in trying to help support the passing of Sam in a way that was respectful. And the outpouring of love from fellow Spurs fans from around the world via social media it blew me away and really touched me. That it just shows what a great Spurs family we truly are. I want to give a shout out to Houston Spurs, Nashville Spurs, Austin Spurs, who all contributed to the GoFundMe memorial fund that was set up that night on Monday. That very evening, by the time I went to bed about 1 o'clock, it was already over $1,000. Obviously Dallas Spurs chipped in as well, and I think right now it's almost nudging $5,000, and it's incredible. So if you feel compelled, and this is certainly not just tugging on everyone's heartstrings to get more money, but obviously when you're 29 years old, your parents don't expect that. They knew that Sam was suffering, and obviously there is a silver lining that he is no longer suffering. As Ken alluded to, depression is horrible. I reached out to the Supporters Club liaison, Stacey Haley, and this is why we love this club. The club will be sending a letter of condolence to the family, as well as including him, hopefully in the Aston Villa program, if not the whole city program. And they didn't have to do that, and that just... Everyone I've mentioned that to has said that's absolutely phenomenal, and that's, again, why we follow Tottenham. I want to mention a couple of things. There was a memorial for Sam last night that several Dallas Spurs members attended, and it was merely really a celebration of his life. A lot of the DFE, American Outlaws, Dallas Spurs, all the groups he was associated with turned up. It was mostly casual, and we were allowed to wear our football shirts and scarves and respect Sam in that way. And there was a gentleman, his name was Andre, and he was with the American Outlaws chapter, and he went up to say a few words. He's a Liverpool supporter, and obviously one of his parting words was to Sam, you'll never walk alone. But after that, just before he finished talking, he started to sing When the Spurs Go Marching In. And the whole room clapped. Didn't matter whether their allegiance was to Chelsea, to City, to Arsenal. They all clapped as he sang that, and that was very touching.
Yeah. And
I've tried to hold it together for the entire week, and it's been hard because we all knew Sam. Last thing I wanted to do, one of our members, Shane Keller, who's going to start blogging for us on our website. He put some words together, so it's kind of a blog. I'm not going to read it in its entirety, but I want to pick up on a few of the paragraphs because I think it's important. for everybody to understand what Sam was going through and what it meant and how we should all learn and grow from this. So thank you for this, Shayna, and hopefully I do this the respect it deserves. So earlier in the week I learned that one of our members, Sam Williams, had died unexpectedly. Sam was only 29. To say that Sam and I were friends would have been an exaggeration. I saw Sam at several Spurs watching parties and we occasionally chatted. Sam was not the most visible or outspoken member of our lot, but he certainly was one of the most ardent. When I heard his passing, I did not know the cause. Given his age, I presumed he died from an accident, hidden illness or suicide. Only when I arrived at the memorial service on Saturday night did I learn it was a combination of the latter two, and I was gutted. Shane goes on to talk about a celebration of a cousin's birthday, and he passed away as well, and he found himself in a similar room asking the question we all ask, why, particularly in a religious setting, and whatever your beliefs are, we're always going to ask those questions, why, especially when someone is young. Another paragraph. So what does this have to do with Dallas Spurs? Well, some of Sam's friends started a GoFundMe.com campaign to help Sam's family allay some of the costs for Sam's funeral. Sam was an avid climber, FC Dallas supporter, as well as American Outlaws, and those groups came to his support. But the Dallas Spurs were incredibly generous. Numerous Dallasians donated to the cause. He goes on to highlight me, and obviously, as I've mentioned, Austin Spurs, Nashville Spurs, and Houston all contributed as well. And as I said, it's grown over $5,000, which is incredible. And he goes on to mention Andre singing when the Spurs go marching in, and it was very, very, very moving. And Shane, if you're listening, mate, I can't read that last paragraph. I read it to Ken earlier, and it kind of choked me up. But I took my I took my son, and you never want to lose your kids before you go. So Sam will miss you. And we raised a glass at the pub today for him, and
we had a minute's clap at the 29th minute. As mentioned, Sam was 29 years old. It's difficult, not only from a standpoint of that he was a member, but he was a founding member. He was one of the original 5 or 6 people that sat in on the first meeting to get this whole supporters club kicked off. Simon kind of mentioned that obviously because of FC Dallas, there's a lot of people that are a part of the DFE that are City supporters, Arsenal supporters, United, Chelsea, or what have you, and all those people come together for the greater good for his family. There were over 200 people at this memorial event. His mom and dad spent the time to talk to each and every single person and try to get their thank yous in, as well as hear where each and every person that was there knew him from. It's very difficult. I'm in my late 40s. Simon's in his early 50s. Sam's around my age as well. And when you lose someone that's only 29, as I said, when you're in this supporters network, listen, football, soccer is nothing like football. Football, the season lasts 10 and a half months, and people are still tied together even during the off season. So this has been a full-time deal where you're around people and you talk to people and you see them on social media through posts and videos and whatnot. I remember when Sam posted his ice bucket challenge and all that kind of thing. You become rather connected to people. They may not be your closest friends in the world, but when you think of somebody that's that age, and you look at people that are our age, it's very easy to view them as child figures, your own children, so to speak. We have a lot of young members, as does every other supporters group in the Dallas area, as does every other supporters group worldwide. It's not just a bunch of old fogies that do this thing. So it's a tough day. It's been an exhaustingly tough and an emotional week for everybody. Sam, I know that you had mentioned beforehand that you really didn't get a chance to know him. You had only recently been able to start actually coming out to the matches regularly with us. But do you got anything you want to interject just about your feelings, any experiences you've had with the disease and how it's affected you in any way?
No, terrible week. I think everybody in our group has done a remarkable job in